Well, hello YouTube. It's Gigi Alive. Um, I'm still alive. The reason why I wanted to make today's video is because I wanted to give y'all an update on what's going on with my health, and I had not posted a video in a while because I've been really sick. So I got a haircut, and still not really used to it because my hair has been falling out a lot, and I wanted to make sure that if it starts to grow, that it grows back properly, evenly. So I cut a lot more than what I expected to cut, but I'm starting to feel like a shaggy dog with it in my face like this. But at least it's a style. Hopefully I'll get used to it. And it's very similar to the other style I have, but it's just a lot shorter in the back and stuff. But anyway, what's been going on with my health? Well, for the last couple of days, last 3 days, I've pretty much been in the bed. I have not been able to lift my head off the pillow. My blood pressure has been extremely high, like 210, 216, 220, over like 108. So with my blood pressure being so high and me having such bad headaches and not wanting to go to the hospital, I pretty much was just stuck myself in the bed, took my medications, checked my blood pressure every chance I got, and it was hard for me even to just pick up the phone. And I wanted to really first say that I think the main reason why I had that episode the last 3 days, I also was running a fever, and I'm pretty sure I was in a good lupus flare. It came on with stress, and I had a very stressful day on Monday, and it just like hit me like a ton of bricks, and I think that's the main reason why I felt so bad. I didn't have the cold symptoms. I just had the fever, I had the headache, I felt like I couldn't lift my head off the pillow, and if I did have to go to the bathroom, it was like, it felt as though my equilibrium was totally off, and I'd fallen a couple of times trying to go to the bathroom. So my legs were numb, my arms were numb, my feet were cold, my hands were cold, my feet were freezing, and I kept getting chills, and my temperature would go up and it would go down, but no matter what, even if my temperature was 97, my feet were freezing. When my temperature was 100, it was still freezing. And my joints were just aching so badly. My whole body was aching terribly bad. Today's Thursday, so that was Monday. So I'm feeling much better right now. I'd probably say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 7. Whereas before I was about a 2, maybe 3. So I didn't go to the hospital. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best is what I meant. Sometimes that scale gets messed up, but I feel much better now, and I'm at probably like a 7, with 10 being the best. But what happened on Monday, I did get the news that I had to have. First off, let me just say, the last couple of weeks, I've been going through some testing. They had to do a lot of testing. So they tested my thyroid with ultrasound, and they found that I had nodules on my thyroid. And I'll just read to you the report. Comparison is made in CT chest. That was done August 7, 2017. The real-time grayscale examination, thyroid gland. Let me just get to the actual real good part, because this just talks about how they measured it and all that stuff. And then it says at the very bottom where it says impression, the thyroid is enlarged. There are several bilateral thyroid nodules measuring 3.7 centimeters on the right, and on the left measuring 3.4 centimeters, and one measuring 1.9 centimeters. And then it says that I need to have a fine needle biopsy, preferably with the oncologist. That's what my endocrinologist said. So I will be going to MD Anderson. If you look at my neck, you can see, especially, like, this lighting is not good today for some reason. But when I do that, you can see how my neck, it's like this whole area right here is really fat. It's hard for me to swallow. My lip nodes are pretty swollen as well, but it's hard for me to swallow. My throat is sore. But this is where your thyroid is, and what's really strange is my salivary glands right here are also swollen, and my lip nodes feel swollen as right here as well. But I mean, if you can see that, it's pretty large there, and this is my right side, and then this is my left side. It doesn't really seem as bad on my left side, but it's supposed to be about the same. We will see what happens with that, but I'll have to go to MD Anderson. I'm sorry, I start to get hot flashes. I will have to go to MD Anderson to get the workup done, because they said that if it's over I believe 1.5 centimeters, then you need to be seen by a oncologist. And because I already have a history of cancer, I need to be seen at MD Anderson Cancer Hospital. But here's the deal. So that was last week. That was actually, I take that back. That was almost a week and a half ago. Okay? So, Monday, I went to my cardiologist, and I found out through my cardiologist that I have to have, because I also had a nuclear stress test done on my heart, I have to have an angioplasty. So I was kind of expecting it, because I looked up after I had a really bad episode with the nuclear test. I think they said that I was at 85% in 5 minutes. So, and the weirdest part was I didn't feel like I really pushed myself to my max. Like, I thought to myself, I probably could have gone a little longer, but he ended it when I told him I was seeing spots, which has happened before when I'm exercising. But he stopped it, and then he said, we're going to stop. And I thought, well, I could have probably gone a little longer. But I really, guess I'm glad that I did enough, because now I bought an angioplasty. Isn't that great? Not great. But really nervous about that, because I know that there's something going on with my heart, because my blood pressure is so uncontrolled. And I know that there's something going on, and I'm kind of dreading, having to go to the hospital for that. And possibly have to stay, because they say, you go in, we'll do the angioplasty, probably go home the next day. Or I'm sorry, the same day. And I'm thinking, well, that would be wonderful if that were the case. But, I have this, intuition, this feeling that it's going to be a little longer stay than just one day. But maybe I'll be lucky. Maybe it'll end up being that, and then I'm out and no more problems. Now that I don't have this thyroid problem, I'm like so aware of my neck. I was like thinking about wearing a choker. Maybe I'll wear a choker. And I'm just thinking to myself, what am I going to do? How am I going to explain this one to my daughters and to my family? But I had decided I wasn't going to tell anyone. And then my mother decided that she would tell everyone. And she was like, I didn't know you wanted to keep it a secret, I just told her, and I think I told a friend. And then next thing you know, my mom has told everyone. And I have to try to look at it from her point of view, because, I think that she likes people to know so they can pray for me. And she likes people to know so they can, I don't know, just know. But it's disappointing when people send you messages like, I'm praying for you, or tell your mother to tell you that they're, praying for you. And I think to myself, it's a lot easier when someone says, I'm going to come see you. And I'm going to, instead of talking through your mother, they actually send you the text directly and say, what do you need? Let me be there for you. And actually do it. Being on your knees is great, and God loves that. But, God wants us to be his hands and his feet. So it really bothers me a lot when my mom is telling me about how these people are praying for me, and I haven't received a phone call or let me just ask what she needs. Instead, she's telling me how much they're praying for me. And if it's strangers, then okay, people on Facebook or whatever. But when you're talking about family, when you're talking about people who are close, it's nice to get that phone call directly from that person, or even a text message saying, I would like to be there for you. What can I do for you? Not just I'm praying for you. Prayers are great, wonderful thing, but I think that people should really keep their prayers to themselves. Instead of saying to someone, I'm praying for you, because oftentimes they're not actually praying for you. They may just try to say it because they want to say something nice. And I mean, I've been one of those people who've done that as well. I mean, I've been in a situation where I'm kind of like awkward and someone's telling me something. I'm like, oh, I'll pray for you. And I don't pray for them. And I feel very bad about that. Later on, I'll think, oh, when I'm on my knees, I'm supposed to pray for this person. I can't remember what I'm supposed to pray about. But what I suggest, if you are a prayerful person, you want to pray, when you are in a situation where you're on Facebook or you're on getting news from someone, take that time right there. It only takes like a minute to say a prayer. Instead of saying, I will pray for you, say, I just prayed for you. I just sent a Hail Mary your way. That's a lot nicer. If you feel like you need to be thanked for it, then I guess that's why you're saying it. But it's even better if you can just put your feet into action, go to that person's bedside, and ask them what they need. That's like my advice for any person who has someone that is going through a hard time with their health. And try not to be too judgmental on them. Like what I've heard from a few people, I'm not going to name names, is, what did you do to get that? How did you get that? Like, what could you have done differently? If you hadn't done this, would that have happened? Well, thyroid cancer and thyroid nodules are not anything that you've done to yourself. It's not anything that you could change, the growth of them. It's not like you just plant it. And I get really tired of people who always want to try to find a reason why something happened. But don't think I don't do the same thing. I go directly to the internet. I ask my doctors. I'm always trying to research and think, what could I have done differently? And there are certain things that may curtail having nodules. There, some things that you can't do anything about. And you having lupus or having problems that are going to cause inflammation in your body, like lupus, it is just something that goes along with it. You're going to end up having to deal with. If you're lucky, you don't. But many of us have to deal with a lot of inflammation, which causes things like cysts and growths in your body. And that's just a fact. So when people ask, well, what did you do? How did you get that? It's a little bit it's very insulting. Sometimes I was feeling pretty hopeless. I have to say that. On Tuesday, I started to feel like, why am I still doing this? I don't want to go to the hospital anymore. I don't want to deal with this surgery. I don't want to deal with the angioplasty. I just want to have my rest with God and be with Jesus. I really was just at that point where I was just like, forget it. I just can't go through another surgery. I can't do it. And I felt like I was just laying in that bed because my head could not be lifted up from, it felt like lead to lift my head up from the pillow. And I thought, okay, if this is how I'm going to go, at least I'll be in my own bed. At least I'll be in my own house. And then I started thinking about my daughters coming home from school and seeing me dead, or waking up in the morning and seeing me. And I thought, that would not be a good thing. I don't want to do that to them because that'd be a bad memory for them. So every day I would try to take another pill, whatever it would be, to get myself better. I would check my blood pressure. I would try to drink a little something. And I would try to force myself to take care of myself. When you have to force yourself to do that, it does give you a little bit of hope and courage. Because you realize, I can't. I can't just sit here and die. And you get a little bit better, you feel a little bit better, you push yourself a little further, and then you realize, okay, I took a bath, I washed my hair, got my hair cut, I'll put some makeup on, I'll have some tea. My mother got me this mug. It says, on the same side. Sometimes, you both sides it says it. Sometimes I open my mouth and my mother comes out. That was perfect. But I mean, you get a little laugh, you have a little tea, you read a little something, you go on Facebook, you play Words with Friends, you start to live again, and you start feeling like, you know what? Maybe this isn't going to kill me. Maybe I will get better. So here we are Thursday. Today's Thursday. So since Monday, I pretty much have been in the bed, knocked out, and now we're Thursday, and my throat is sore. It's still swollen. I still have a headache, but I can move my neck now. I can lift my head up. I can walk. I'm still a little dizzy, but I can walk. And my best friend said she's going to come see me from Dallas. So tonight I'm going to have dinner with my best friend. I'm going to get out the house. I haven't been out the house since Monday, since I went to my cardiologist. So I'm going to get out the house. I'm going to do some things for myself tonight. And this weekend I'm going to focus on work and on trying to focus on getting myself prepared for the next week. And hopefully I'll be feeling much better. And I won't have another lupus flare. So, just so you know, everyone's lupus flare is different, but stress does contribute to it. So, if you get in a situation where you're feeling stressed out and you have lupus, or you know someone has lupus, please do not bombard them with questions or with extra stress. And if you're the person going through it, try to avoid it. I don't care if you have to go in another room, if you have to leave the house, to get a hotel room, whatever. Whatever you need to do to relax, relax. Because, like right now, my ears aren't even working good. Like, I still have a hard time swallowing. And I feel really achy still. And I'm actually a lot better. But most people who are going through this, who have this situation, would have been in the hospital. And I just took care of myself. I'm tired of medical bills. I'm tired of going to the hospital. So if you're dealing with someone who has this, be encouraging. Try your hardest to just be there for them. And prayers are great, but back those prayers up with action. Okay? Anyway, I'm very, very blessed. I feel like I got a second lease on life. And whenever you come out of the lupus flare, it kind of feels like that. You kind of feel like, I can, carry on now. I can, do more. I have life. And I'm going to have to grow my hair back because I'm not sure I like it so short. But looking forward to all that stuff. Life is something that's precious, and we're only given one chance to live, so why not be happy? Why not enjoy it to the fullest? Why not just go out and have a good time and enjoy what you have? Because who knows how long you have. Everyone is here for a limited time, and you never know whose life is going to end, and you never know what point you have the last one with that person. So enjoy each person that you have in your life. Cherish them. Say I love you a lot. And truly love them by being with them and spending time with them. And I am going to give you all an update on my progress with my thyroid and with my angioplasty and with my lupus flares. I will probably try to come back and make another video right before my November 3rd angioplasty. So I'll probably be talking to you all then. And I'm going to MD Anderson on December 1st, unless they find something where they can fit me in earlier. So December 1st will be the thyroid cancer center where I'll be going. But I'm going to be doing the angioplasty first, and that is on November 3rd. So I will be contacting you guys through YouTube to give y'all an update later on. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up. I hope I've inspired you a little bit in any way, shape, or form. That's the goal of the video. And I hope that I have left something behind for my children so that way they can remember me.